Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting live from JC1 Auditorium, Sunway University, we present you the opening ceremony of the 15th International Symposium on Radiation Physics, ISRP-15. Let's give a big round of applause to Yang Berhormat Khairi Jamaluddin, the Minister of Past Malaysia, for joining us online as a guest of honor. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem, Negaraku. Please be seated.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Yang Berhormat Khairi Jamaluddin, Minister of Health Malaysia, Professor Sibran Popema, Vice Chancellor of Sunway, President of Sunway University, Professor Graham Wilkinson, Vice Chancellor of Sunway University, Tan Sri Jamila Mahmud, Executive Director, Sunway University Center of Planetary Health, Professor Emeritus, Distinguished Professor Dr. David Bradley, Chairman of the 15th International Symposium on Radiation Physics and President of International Radiation Physics Society, Dr. Siti Aisyah binti Hashim, Director General, Malaysian Nuclear Agency, Professor Dr. Muhammad Iqbal Saripan, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, Universiti Putra, Malaysia, Professor Engineer Dr. Hairul Azhar Abdul Rashid, Vice President, Research, Industrial, Collaboration and Engagement, Multimedia University, Associate Professor, Chemist Dr. Zaitun binti Abdul Majid, Dean, Faculty of Science, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, Professor Dr. Suhairul Hashim, Deputy Dean, Faculty of Science, Technology, Faculty of Science, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, Co-Chairman of the 15th International Symposium on Radiation Physics, members of VIPs, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On behalf of the organizer, we wish to extend our warm welcome, selamat datang, and thank you especially to our guests of honor, YB Khairi, members of delegates, representatives from among the collaborators, sponsors, members of media, and international and local participants to this 15th International Symposium on Radiation Physics, ISRP 15. My name is Professor Faisal Muhammad from the Nuclear Science Program, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia.
And my name is Fazila Hassan from Malaysian Nuclear Agency. It is our pleasure to be your host for this beautiful morning event. To begin the opening ceremony with the blessings, I would like to invite Professor Faisal Muhammad to lead the Dua recitation and a moment of silence.
Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Ya Rahim, praise be to God, the Lord of the worlds. Peace and blessing be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companion, and for those who followed his example till the judgment day. Allahumma ya Allah, on this blessed morning, in conjunction with the ISRP 15, we beseech you and grateful towards you in favor of all the infinite blessing to us, your humble servant, to live in safe and prosperous life. We seek your blessing for a flawless progress of this event from the beginning till the end. We seek your guidance, Ya Allah, to steer clear of events that would detrimental the progress of this event. Ya Latif, Ya Rahman, please bless us with your tawfiq and hidayah. Please guide us to greatness, peace, glory, and prosperity in this world and the hereafter. Make us a responsible intellectual. Grant us with a valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to mankind in order to gain your mardatillah. Ya Munzil al-Barakah, bestow peace to our beloved country, Malaysia. Preserve us from this pandemic or any threat and disaster, neither man-made nor natural disaster. And to you, Ya Allah, we ask for security and prosperity upon us, our leaders, and our country. Bestow patience in us in order to face the challenges and the strength to do more charitable deed. Please accept our deeds and please reward us accordingly, Ya Allah. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam Muhammad wa alihi wasallam. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Amin, Amin, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Thank you very much, Professor Faizal Muhammad. For your information, today we have about more than 300 participants from 44 countries and also industrial experts and professionals joining this symposium. All participants gathering here physically and virtually to discuss on nuclear and science technology, current trend, and potential future issues involving radiation in various applications and to share thought, exchange ideas on how to chart the journey forward to reach the new height.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, to begin with, I would like to invite Professor Emeritus, Distinguished Professor Dr. David Bradley, the Chairman of the Organizing Committee, to deliver his welcoming address. Please welcome Professor David.
Yang Berhormat Khairi Jamaluddin, Minister of Health Malaysia, dear distinguished guests. I want to take just a short while to tell you something about the International Radiation Physics Society and how we have got here, where we first started. I take you first of all to 1895, the discovery of the X-ray by Wilhelm Röntgen in Würzburg in Germany. In 1896, the discovery of radioactivity. In 1897, the discovery of the electron. Surprisingly, since we knew a lot about electricity already. But let me tell you something that in 1895, it was November that Röntgen discovered the X-ray. And yet, in 1896, 4 months later in Taiping, there was the first demonstration of the X-ray in Malaya. In fact, it was the first demonstration of the X-ray anywhere in what the Straits Times called the Far East, by which they meant Southeast Asia and Northeast Asia. So, I take you now to 1892 because to demonstrate those X-rays, by the way, Mr. Ray in Taiping demonstrated the X-ray. He was from the museum in Taiping. There was no electricity supply. In fact, there was no electricity supply anywhere in the world until 1892 in New York, the very first distributor of power, enough power to power 400 light bulbs. That was by Thomas Edison. Now, the X-ray tube that was shown in Taiping looks very much like a light bulb. And in fact, so Mr. Edison worked with someone called Clarence Daly. And Clarence Daly, in producing these X-ray tubes, used his left hand to demonstrate that they worked. A few months later, he was suffering from radiation dermatitis, not only to his left hand, but also to his face. In fact, his left hand was then amputated. Being a scientist, he then started to use his right hand. And a few months later, he lost his right hand. And after that, before he was 40, he died. So we've realized, it's good to now realize in hindsight that radiation can both be powerful and also can be dangerous. But how were they to know, since they were the first people to work with this? I then take you from that period. By the way, Thomas Edison was also working with a friend at the time whose name was Nikola Tesla. So Nicholas Tesla introduced to Edison the idea of the AC electricity supply. They fell out. Thomas Edison became one of the world's greatest industrial magnates. Tesla was forever to be known as the person who produced the greatest magnet. But he died penniless, whereas Thomas Edison was a very, very rich man. So it's more, we do need both science and the commercial sector to come together. And then I take you to 1932, the discovery of the neutron. So the neutron opened up the world to the inners of the nucleus. And Thomas and Chadwick in Liverpool worked with someone called Joseph Rotblat, later to become Sir Joseph Rotblat, Nobel Peace Prize winner. So we then realized by 1939 that the neutron and the nucleus were rather dangerous in the wrong hands, and that, but in the right hands, we can see that they've been used for all sorts of applications in modern technology. So dangerous that we know what happened in the mid-40s. And by 1953, there was the famous speech of Theodore Roosevelt, the Atoms for Peace speech, that led to the establishment of the International Atomic Energy Agency. I then take you to 1968 and to the first purpose-built Center for Radiation Oncology and Nuclear Medicine in Malaysia at General Hospital, Kuala Lumpur. And believe it or not, they had a 43 mega electron volt betatron, the largest energy production ever to have taken place in Malaysia. And at that time, there were just 1 or 2 radiotherapy centers in the world, in the country. There are now 34 in this country, matching the WHO guidelines for the number of radiation therapy facilities for a population, 1 per 1 million. So I then take you to 1982. We've already heard from Dr. Siti Aisha. Criticality first occurred. The first nuclear reaction to occur in this country was in June 1982, and yet in Penang, in February April 1982 was ISRP-15, the second International Symposium on Radiation Physics, just a month or 2 before the first criticality situation in Malaysia. And since then, the International Radiation Physics Society, which was set up in Penang by Sir Joseph Rotblat and Daphne Jackson, the first female professor of physics in the whole of the United Kingdom. And she devoted her whole life to nuclear physics and left her estate to the world and established something called Women in Science and Engineering. So I knew her personally because I'm an emeritus professor of the University of Surrey, where she was head of department. ISRP-2 was the beginning of the International Radiation Physics Society. Joseph Rotblat, by that time, was external examiner to USM Physics Department. And he lived, by the way, I should say that what I'm talking about are 3 Ps: the power of the mind, the passion, and finally the pathos, as we've heard about Clarence Daly, who lost his life. So the passion of the power of the mind, and the incredible thing is that Sir Joseph Blatt lived in Asmara Road in London. Asmara in Malay means passion. So since 1982, this conference series has been around the world. And here we are now at the beginning of ISRP-15. We are only the third country in the world to have hosted this conference series twice. India, Brazil, and now Malaysia. And I'm so incredibly proud of the work that's been done in this country. I first arrived in Malaysia in 1977. I stood where the nuclear reactor is now. I'm so incredibly proud to be a member of this society and for us to host this meeting. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, distinguished Emeritus Professor Dr. David Bradley, for the remarkable speech.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, next, I would like to invite Professor Sibran Popema, the President of Sunway University, to deliver his remarks. Please welcome Professor.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or even good night, although I don't mean you should go to sleep now. But I know there's people all over the world watching this. Yang Bahormat, Minister of Health, Khairi Jamaluddin, Professor David Bradley, the President of the conference, Dr. Siti Ayasa, Director General of the Malaysian Nuclear Agency, Iqbal Saripan, Deputy VC Research of UPM, Hairul Asyar, VP Research Multimedia University, Suhairul Hashim, Deputy Dean UTM, Graham Wilkinson, Vice Chancellor of Sunway University, Mahendra Nair, the Pro Vice Chancellor, Research Engagement and Impact, and Tantri Professor Jamila, the Director of the Sunway Center for Planetary Health. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this 15th International Symposium on Radiation Physics. We are truly honored to host you this year at Sunway University, although much rather we would have liked to see all of you here in Sunway. The symposium has been organized by the Center for Applied Physics and Radiation Technologies in collaboration with UTM and UPM and supported by Pan-Malaysian University and Research Institutes and the International Radiation Physics Society. Sunway University is always looking forward to work with other academic institutions, industries, government, and the general population, the so-called quadruple helix. This is part of our founders' ambition to create a sustainable, livable, green, and smart city with education at the center of it all, to contribute to Malaysia's aspiration to be a high-tech nation. Sunway University is private, but not for profit, and it is research-led. To us, education is not just about knowledge, but also about values, about skills, and about mindset. Recently, the university has established the Sunway Center for Planetary Health, but equally important, adopted planetary health as the central theme in our education and research. Our 22 research centers and 5 interdisciplinary research clusters are working towards sustainable solutions in collaboration with government, industry, and society, and with partners in Malaysia, ASEAN, and abroad. Examples are collaborations with MIT on CO2 capture and utilization, with Harvard University on global health, and with the University of Cambridge on infectious diseases and on radiobiology. Examples of projects in Malaysia are the Fundamental Research Project on Successful Aging, a project with Selangor Police on prevention of suicides, the establishment of a pandemic center with UKM, and the TDF2 project cloud-based intelligent measurement, monitoring and analytics system in support of radiation medicine, a more than 1 million ringgit project funded by MOSTI in collaboration with MMU, IRPS from the industry and CERIM. The scheme is a result of the adoption and implementation of the 1010 Malaysia Science, Technology, Innovation and Economy (MISTI) framework. Sunway University takes the 1010 MISTI framework very serious. Its intention is to first stimulate the growth of research and development through collaboration. Second, to promote talent development to transform Malaysia from a user to a creator of technology. And third, to create new research and development and commercialization opportunities in medical technology especially. But there's also applications in material sciences, there's applications in agriculture, etc. Worldwide, ideas from nuclear sciences have produced commercializations on an industrial scale, as well as societal impact, especially in healthcare. At Sunway Medical Center, we practice essentially all forms of CT, MRI, PET, and so-called gamma knife for brain surgery. Malaysia has an amazing infrastructure. The Nuclear Agency, the Atomic Energy Licensing Board, and the Medical Devices Agency. The support by the Ministry of Health in supporting and driving radiation medicine in the country is much appreciated. The ISRP-15 organizers have invited an all-star roster of keynote speakers who are leaders and pioneers within their respective fields from around the world. The meeting sessions provide an effective platform for radiation physicists to present their research, network with industry, and advance their professional careers. There will be exchange of ideas, sharing of knowledge, and networking. And I'm very pleased that you will have a special session on women in nuclear science and technology on Wednesday. Once again, I warmly welcome you all to the ISRP-15 and hope you will find the meeting both intellectually rewarding and enjoyable. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Sibran, for the speech.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now we have reached the most awaited moment. Without further ado, we would like to welcome YB Khairi Jamaluddin, Minister of Health Malaysia, to deliver his opening speech and subsequently to officiate the ISRP 15. Please welcome YB Khairi Jamaluddin.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam keluarga Malaysia sehat sejahtera. Just giving a quick sound check. Can everyone hear me? Okay, great. It's almost 2 years into the pandemic, but a lot of people forget to unmute themselves. First of all, I would like to extend my sincere apologies for not being able to join you in person this morning. I've been feeling under the weather over the last 3 days, but I've been testing every day, and so far, so good. So far, everything negative, but I thought it'd be a good idea for me to stay away from you this morning, just to be safe. So my apologies once again for not joining in person. It gives me a great honor to nonetheless join you virtually for the 15th International Symposium on Radiation Physics today. We've heard a lot of great things from the first speakers, from Professor Bradley as well as Professor Popema, on some of the exciting discussions that you will be having during the next few days. I'm pleased that we are able to support this, not just, of course, the organizers, but also Sunway University. And let me congratulate Sunway University for setting up the Center for Planetary Health. I think this is much, much needed and welcome to look at health, not just in terms of medical, clinical health outcomes, but in totality. And also congratulations to my dear friend, Tan Sri Dr. Jamila, for being a appointed to head this very important center. Thank you to UTM, UPM, as well as my former ministry, the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, MOSTI, and its agencies, Nuclear Malaysia, AELB, for supporting this very important conference. It's very heartening to see that the symposium is taking steps to promote both global exchange of and integration of scientific information related to the interdisciplinary issues of radiation physics with researchers from various fields, including the promotion of not just theoretical and experimental research in radiation physics, but also research into the physical aspects of the interaction of radiation with inert or living material systems, education in radiation physics, and the use of radiation for peaceful purposes. Ladies and gentlemen, as brilliantly articulated by Professor Bradley earlier, the X-ray is not a recent phenomenon here in Malaysia. It was used in Taiping way back in 1895, and a complete apparatus for producing X-rays was presented actually to the government hospital in Ipoh in October 1897 in commemoration of Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee, how colonial. It was exciting. For the first time, healthcare practitioners were allowed to see through the body instead of having to rely on indirect diagnosis and evidence of successful treatment. Because of their immense usefulness, radiation technology was quickly adopted worldwide and has had a profound impact on the way we live and on the way we diagnose illnesses and on the way we help people get better health outcomes. Malaysia has a special focus, as you know, in capacity building. We've built up a solid body of well-trained specialists in radiation technology, and they are well prepared to continue this tradition for future generations. And conferences like this provide a valuable opportunity for research scientists, industry specialists to share their experiences. Today, radiation physics plays an important role in disease diagnostics as well as treatment. The growth of medical physics support in Malaysia is led, of course, by the Ministry of Health, but it gets immense infrastructural support and research from our sister agencies at MOSTI, in particular Nuclear Malaysia, and of course the regulatory control of the Atomic Energy Licensing Board. And I was thrilled when I was the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation to visit Malaysia's nuclear reactor. And many Malaysians to this day don't actually know we have a nuclear reactor. Malaysia's attractiveness as a learning and development research and medical hub is, of course, underpinned by demonstrable high quality precision medicine, supported by knowledge, experience, international quality facilities, and of course, never forgetting in all that we do that the patient is at the center of all our efforts. The ability of radiation medicine to deliver on the needs of society is a case in point, with detailed understanding of radiation, safety in application, and a clear desire of our scientists and technologists working with others around the world to continue to push the boundaries and seek further breakthroughs towards improving the human condition, ameliorating suffering, and sustaining health. This is already being demonstrated with publications from our country over recent years, providing ample evidence of our presence on the world stage, notably with instances of working with august institutions such as the Grey Lab of Oxford, as well as Cambridge and University College London. That the ISRP series is being hosted in Malaysia for the second time out of a total of 15 meetings over the past few decades, I think speaks volumes about our presence on the international stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the COVID-19 pandemic has greatly changed the way we go about our daily lives, but at the same time, it has prompted us to apply science and technology creatively and innovatively. Integrated efforts among scientists have seen the production of the COVID-19 vaccines in a very short time. This proves that scientists, of course, play a crucial and important role in the application of knowledge and technology, especially in new fields like artificial intelligence, big data analytics, and blockchain to make critical decisions based on facts and information. Scientists also have a huge responsibility to help Malaysia become a high-tech nation with an innovation-led economy by 2030. And thank you to Professor Popema for highlighting the 10 by 10 STIE framework, which I launched when I was Minister of Science. It is essentially the framework by which we want to drive the economy and economic growth over the next decade, not one that is relies on traditional factors of productivity, but rather relying on new factors of productivity, including technology and science. Of course, in the wake of the fourth industrial revolution, healthcare services all around the world will not be spared from disruption, and radiation technology will be at the forefront of artificial intelligence and IoT. As one of the earliest adopters of X-ray technology in the world, the Malaysian healthcare system, once again, I hope will stay in front of the curve of change as we see more disruption and more technology augmenting radiation physics. The use of radiation, of course, is governed by complex regulations and license conditions. Therefore, it is imperative that the management and healthcare providers continue to embrace the designs to respond and complement these challenges and abide by policy and regulatory frameworks. Therefore, to master various skill areas, it is essential to make sure that human capital development is prioritized as part of your industry to ensure that radiation physics will keep up with other technological developments. Ladies and gentlemen, before I end, I would like to once again thank and acknowledge all the delegates and the hard work from the ISRP-15 team who have worked tirelessly to make this symposium a great success. I hope all the delegates will take part in the activities and presentation over the next 5 days. And I wish everyone a successful and fruitful symposium. Once again, we would like to welcome international delegates soon back to Malaysia. Countries are reopening safely. We don't know what the days ahead have in store for us with the development that we see with the new variant, but we can be hopeful that 2022 will be a great recovery year for Malaysia and also for everyone else in the world. With that, dengan lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I hereby launch the 15th International Symposium on Radiation Physics 2021. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, YB Khairi Jamaluddin, for the wonderful officiating speech.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as the ISRP-15 is now officially open, let me invite all of you to watch the montage video for the ISRP-15. I hope you will enjoy the video. Thank you so much. Next, we will invite you for a photo taking session before the coffee break. So please remain at your seat. I would like to invite Yang Berhormat Khairi Jamaluddin and also all the participants, online participants, to open your camera for the virtual photo session. Okay, the technical team, I hope you are ready to take the virtual photo first and then we go for the physical photo. Here you are. Faizal, you want to do the counting?
Yes, okay. With the count of 5, I think, and few snaps. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Smile. Without mask, okay, you can smile.
Thank you for the photo session. Thank you to the technical team for the virtual photo session. We will proceed with the physical photo session after the ceremony at the end. So ladies and gentlemen, so Aswa, do you have anything else to remind our participants?
Okay, because due to the SOP, we will leave this room, this auditorium, row by row. So our usher will assist you.
YB Khairi Jamaluddin, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached towards the end of our opening ceremony. On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to thank all of you, especially to our guest of honor, YB Khairi Jamaluddin, our Health Minister of Malaysia, for giving his officiating speech today. A give round of applause for YB Khairi Jamaluddin. Thank you very much. As Wilhelm Röntgen said, great discoveries are made accidentally less often than the populace likes to think. We have now reached towards the end of this opening session. We hope you will have a productive and fruitful discussion, extend network, and jointly explore current and future research in radiation and nuclear science and technology at this very, very special symposium. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the organizing committee, thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, YB Khairi Jamaluddin and members of VIPs and everyone. Thank you.